Something that I hear all the time from small business owners is, why is federal contracting a good idea for me? You know, why is it worth the investment? And the number one thing is the dollars. There's over $500 billion, $550 billion in federal contracts that were issued in fiscal year 2008. The stimulus, or the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, is going to have $400 billion in contracts associated with it over the next 18 months. The federal government has a 23% small business goal, where 23% of all federal procurement should go to small businesses. So when you do the math, that's a lot of money. The federal government is the largest procurer of goods and services in the country. So when small businesses say, what's in it for me? I say, why not be a partner with the federal government? This is a great place to sell your high-quality, innovative goods and services if you're a small business.
Marketing to the federal government it comes in many forms. That networking portion is very important, and understanding who your client is first. What is that agency's mission? What do they do? Who are their clients?
Winning government contracts is typically a much longer life cycle than the commercial world. Most government contracts you win through something called the request for a proposal process, the RFP process, whereby the government identifies a requirement. They put out a request for proposal that summarizes the requirements, and then you as a contractor have the opportunity to demonstrate through a proposal how you think you can meet those requirements and at what price you can perform those requirements.
Asset Group does use FBO, like most other companies do, which is Federal Business Opportunities. We do search that search engine quite often and get regular reports from there. But another great way to get advanced knowledge of construction opportunities for us is to attend the industry conferences and trade shows, where a lot of the agencies are sending a representative that is going to give a highlight of what's coming. And then we track those projects and track towards them.
The government is certainly concerned about price, just like in the private sector, but quality is also paramount in many of these contract solicitations. So it's not just a decision made on price, it's often technical superiority can win the day. So in addition to the many price preferences or sole source capabilities that certain small business contracting programs allow small businesses to have, in the end they should compete in all full and open competitions as well, because you should go into it with an opportunity, looking at it as an opportunity to win and succeed based on your high quality, innovative product and service at a competitive price, but not necessarily the absolute lowest price.
As a small business, the government pays you in 15 days from the day that your pay application is approved. The average commercial customer out there would be 45 to 90. It's a huge difference for small business.
It is an attractive market space, but if you're not familiar with it, it can be very difficult to break in initially. There are areas like understanding contract vehicles, understanding the federal procurement process, understanding the anatomy of a request for proposal document and how to respond, that constitute a pretty big learning curve for a company that is completely new to that market space.
Building your brand, and more importantly, building your relationships within the federal agencies that are procuring the goods and services that your company provides is very important.
Try to get ahead of the procurement cycle so that by the time a request for a proposal comes out, the client knows who you are and what your capabilities are, and you're not going in cold. Otherwise, you drastically reduce your chances of winning.
Asset Group has had a great history in working with SBA closely. We seek their guidance and counsel. We have invited their input into our business plan. We have asked for guidance on client matters. At times, the SBA has been the one to bring opportunities to our attention. They have fantastic folks at their district offices that really do work hard to steward small business in America.
I think there's a lot of homework and research that one would need to do, and that would include going and meeting with companies that are already in that market space, seeing if you have a service or product offering that might complement a company's capabilities, and trying to see if you could potentially team with another company initially as an entree before you try to go after it on your own.
Every large prime contract over a certain dollar threshold needs to outline their subcontracting goal, and it needs to have significant small business participation. So the large businesses are looking to find small businesses that they can partner with to deliver on the contract to the federal government.
Federal agencies will publish lists of contracts, current contracts, on their small business page. You can look at the trade rags in the federal market space and look at who the companies are that are being awarded new contracts. You can also look for small business partners through an SBA site called ccr.gov. So there are a number of ways you can find prime contractors.
When I put a business plan together, business plan had a various factors in it, like that what is the market sector we are going to go after. At the beginning, going for the private sector work, so it is easy to get in, and then eventually build your resume and get into the federal arena. To excel into federal arena, these are various certificates you need to have. Minority business, disadvantaged business. So we looked at that, and based on that one said that federal government lays out so much dollar every year. How much is going for the small business? So we came up with that. And then based on that one, we came up with the projection that, hey, in 2 years, if we get in a federal government, and if we get an 8A program, we might get X amount of work as a sole source, Y amount of work we can build in that arena, and then we can build our resume and build our finances. 8A program is a 9-year program. You get in the program, and then you gradually build in the program and graduate after 9 years. Then you have to demonstrate to the government that, hey, first 2 years you utilize the resources, and then as you grow in the program, then you have to be more independent, not depending on sole source work coming from the government. To win government contracts, we have to do a lot of things. You have to have a good resume, a past performance record, that, hey, you have done this work and here is your resume. Another thing, you have to have enough finance to at least get that job done. The first 8A project which we got was a sole source project, building a small building, and that gives us a big boost in our portfolio. We did a great job in that one. Then federal government has their own database. They put their ratings in the database. That rating helped us to get a next job. 8A business is not a giveaway business. You have to demonstrate your abilities, that you can do the job, you can consistently maintain your rating, and you satisfy the client. Competing in today's economy, client satisfaction is plays #1 role. Your numbers have to be there. The services what you are providing, those has to be above and beyond what they are asking. Once you demonstrate that you can do the job, once you demonstrate that you are worthy of taking that job and doing that job, and demonstrate it to the client that you are the person they can rely on, then doors are open.
Federal contracting takeaway tips. Research the federal arena. Which certifications can help you compete? Create a business plan. Start with work in the private sector. Build a quality resume. FBO.gov is an online database of federal contracting opportunities. Build your brand and develop relationships with federal procurement agents. Watch the expert segment on federal government contracting to learn more about this topic. For more business building advice, visit SBA.gov and www.takeyourownpath.com.